What is up, guys? Welcome back, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how quick and easy it actually is to take your drum mix from start to finish using the Drum Daddy producer kit. I have an instrumental section of a song that's already mixed, it just needs some drums. I want to load the Drum Daddy producer kit onto this MIDI track that I have right here with my MIDI drums. Let's hear what it sounds like real quick before we have the drums on there to get a taste of what we're working with. So it's more of a heavy rock sound, so I want drums that are going to be more aggressive and in-your-face sounding. So let's open up Kontakt on that MIDI track that we had for our drums. I'm going to open up Kontakt. I'm just going to open a stereo track. I'm not going to open a multi-output because the whole point of this video is to show you the little steps it takes to get an awesome drum mix using the producer kit. And I feel like the best way to do that is to use a stereo track because that is the least amount of steps. So now that I have Kontakt open, let's open up Drum Daddy Producer Kit. Click on it, and then let's start with the Daddy Kit. I love the Daddy Kit. This is one of my favorites on here. Let's hear what this sounds like real quick with the Daddy Kit loaded up onto this song and nothing yet done to it. Ooh, that's hot. I'm not going to lie. That sounds really good. You could just open up the Daddy Kit preset and you could call it a day, master this song, and it sounds fucking great. But because this is a YouTube video and I'm trying to dive deeper into the producer kit, we're going to throw some plugins on here and do a little bit more mixing. And I'm going to show you some of the things that I personally do when I'm using the producer kit in a song when I'm mixing. So let's start with the kick drum. I'm going to go to the kick on the producer kit. I have my kick highlighted. Honestly, I'm going to probably just leave this kick direct the way it is. I'm going to leave everything on the kick direct, girth, sync, and attack, and all over here. I'm not going to touch any of this. I'm going to go over to my kick overhead. And because I created the producer kit, I made all these samples. I've used these samples for many years of my career. I know exactly how to make these samples sound good. So I kind of already know what I need to do to make this sound the way I want it to sound in the song. So I'm just going to start doing that and then try to explain as best as I can why I'm doing it. So I'm going to highlight this kick overhead, and I think I'm just going to boost the lowest frequency right here on the EQ, and then I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Give it a little bit more of that thump sound. Let's just turn up the kick overhead almost all the way. There we go. I want to hear that a little bit more. Let's turn this down a little bit. That's not bad. Let's turn on the girth, sync, and attack. Woo! Let's turn that stank down. And then let's turn that girth down maybe a little bit. So let's just turn that attack down on that kick overhead, and then I think we'll be good. What is that? It's not bad. Go a little bit more. Actually, you know what? Let's mute all the instruments in the song so I only have drums. Cool. So back to that kick overhead. I think I'm pretty happy with that kick drum for right now. I'm not going to touch it yet until I start doing some more stuff to the rest of the drums. Let's go to the snare drum. Let's start by tuning the snare down a little bit. I want the snare to be a little thicker, a little juicier, a little beefier, a little bit more low end. So I'm going to go down one, just one little peg. So it lets me go down right there on the snare direct. And then on the snare overhead, Let's take it down 1 and then take it down 1 again on the room. It's a little bit lower. Let's get a little weird with it though. Let's take down the pitch on the snare overhead another 1 little peg. So it's down 2 pegs instead of just 1, or notch, whatever you want to call it. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so now that I turned this down a little bit, let's crank this low end on the snare overhead channel like we did on the kick drum. And then I'm going to actually, because I turned this pitch down on this overhead, but I didn't match the same pitch on this direct in the room, it's a little out of phase. So now I got to click the little phase button. And then, yeah, I added a lot more of that girthy low end I was looking for. Then let's just crank that up a little bit. Ooh, baby. Okay, so let's go to that snare overhead channel. Let's click on that. Let's pull up these girth, sync, and attack controls for that snare overhead channel. Let's turn the stank down a little bit. Let's give it a little bit of attack from here. Actually, let's kind of halfway this. I wanted to... Let's see what this sounds like in the mix. Damn, that's sounding really good so far. Let's keep tweaking. I want to tweak the snare a little bit. The snare EQ on Drum Daddy. Let's just play it from this verse. That sounds so good, man. And I'm only using what's in the Drum Daddy producer kit. I haven't thrown any plugins on this yet. This is just what the tools are available in the producer kit. And really all I did was just change the EQ and the level of the drums. I didn't really do anything else. That kick and snare sounding so good. Let's make those toms sound a little juicier. Let's start with that rack tom. Let's go over, we're going to do similar to what we did to the kick overhead and the snare overhead. I'm going to go to the rack overhead. Let's try turning up that attack over here on that rack direct. It's working a little bit better for me. Let's go over to the rack overhead. Oh, okay. Let's go to the rack overhead. Let's turn on the girth, sync, and attack. Let's turn these down so that they're all about halfway. We'll leave the output where it is. Ooh, that's already sounding more like what I want. Oh, I see. Let's tune these down. Let's tune them down so that they're all, because right now it's tuned up. We'll take them so that they're all just dead center. No surprises. Cool beans. Let's go back to that rack overhead channel. Click on that. Let's give it a little bit more attack. A little less a stink. A little more girth. Let's try cranking this up. Ooh, okay, cool. So yeah, I flipped the phase invert on the rack overhead track only, and then I just cranked this low frequency and kind of gave me a little bit more of that girthy smack I was looking for. So let's go over to this rack or floor tom now, and I don't think I want to touch any of these direct. I'm just going to go straight over to the floor overhead and do similar to what I did on everything, because that seems to be the money shot. Turn on the girth, sync, and attack. Let's turn these down halfway-ish. It's not rocket science. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let's turn up that attack on the floor overhead. Ooh, that's sounding better. Let's go back to that floor overhead. Let's just turn that room up a little bit. Or let's just turn that low frequency EQ up a little bit is what I meant to say. Ooh, we're getting there. Let's turn that girth up on the floor overhead channel. Ooh, let's hear those real quick. Damn, that sounds really sick. And all I've done so far is just choose a kit preset in the producer kit and tweak some of the EQ and girth, sync, and attack settings a little bit. And it already sounds awesome. So right now I have no plugins on my producer kit drum track. I kind of want to bring up a little bit more of that like high-end sparkle. So I'm going to go to Slate Digital and I'm going to open up Fresh Air. This plugin is pretty fucking sick. If you haven't used it, you honestly are missing out because I throw it on everything I do. Every track has this on there. I'm just going to play it, and then I'm going to adjust these two knobs as I'm listening to it to kind of bring up more of that high end that I want in the drum track. Awesome. Already sounding a little bit better. So now that I got my Fresh Air on there, it's bringing up a little bit more of that high end I want. It's going to bring up more of that smack in the drum mix. Let's throw on a compressor on this overall drum mix. So I'm going to open up my Slate Digital Virtual Mix Rack, stereo. Let's go. We're gonna take a scroll. Take a little scroll. Take a scroll down to the FG stress. This is one of the main things I use in the Slate Virtual Mix Rack. How does this sound so far? Let's mute all the instruments so we only have some drums. Ooh. That's pretty cool, but that's a lot of compression. Let's turn the attack to 10 and the release to 0. Give us more of that smack and attack in the drums that we're looking for. I'm going to leave the ratio on 6.1. I'm actually going to bring down the input, though. Awesome. And then I think I'm just going to adjust the mix to kind of bring it down a little bit, blend it in with the natural drums. Cool, and let's take a listen with that in the mix a little bit. I'm going to start it from a different part of the song. I think the only thing really I would do to top off this drum mix is I would go to my Waves plugins, and then I'm going to look for the IMPusher. And then I'm actually going to turn off this one. I'm going to turn off this one. I'm going to turn off this one. I'm going to turn off this one. And I'm just going to leave the push knob. I'm going to leave the push knob on. And we are going to listen to it, and we are going to just kind of bump this up a little bit, just kind of leveled out. I might not even need to move it too much, really. I I'm really just going to turn this knob to taste to how aggressive or punchy I really want these drums in this mix. I think this might be kind of where I want it to sit. I have the push at about 1.8. Man, those sound really punchy and really girthy. That's sounding exactly how I wanted them to sound in this mix. And all I did was utilize what's already in the producer kit by just taking advantage of the samples that are there and the tools in the producer kit. And we only have 3 plugins on this whole drum track. We have Fresh Air, the virtual mix rack with just the FG stress, and then the IMPusher just kind of barely limiting that drum track and pushing it a little bit more. And that leaves us with this awesome, juicy drum mix. Let's take a listen to the final result. And there it is, everybody. That is how easy it is to take your drum mix from start to finish using the producer kit. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel.